In today's video, we're going to talk about how to communicate with a spouse when they're angry.
Welcome to our YouTube channel. We are Marcus and Ashley Kusi from ourpeacefulfamily.com, where we help married couples to become better husbands and wives. In this video, we're going to answer a question that we received from one of our readers.
The question is, when my wife is angry, she doesn't listen to anything I'm saying, and sometimes take about a week or so to be calm. That worries me a lot. She tends to say vulgar words in front of the kids, and that's not a good thing at all. I think me being the one with the temper in our relationship, especially in the beginning, I would totally blow up. Like, I'd go from 0 to 60 really fast. And I was also the one to use the more vulgar words, and still am. But throughout the years, I've learned, so actually we were having an argument and I was getting really mad and Marcus was getting really frustrated. And he's usually so patient, but he had just had it that day. He was like, I'm going to walk away before I say something we're both going to regret. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. It was like, it was a mind shift for me. It was like, wait a minute, we don't have to argue this way. It really blew my mind. And I know it's like common sense to so many people, but because of how I grew up and the couples that I saw in my life and how they argued, it was the total opposite of that. So in my house growing up, there was lots of yelling and there was lots of curse words and there was even abuse. So I was coming from that background. But for him to be like, I don't want to say something to hurt you, I was like, what? Like, you care about me that much, even when you're angry? And it really just showed me that there's another way to do things. And so maybe your wife doesn't realize that. Maybe she has these expectations of this is how we argue and this is how we fight, or this is okay to do because it's her level of what's normal. And so I think that could be the first thing that might help you. Have you ever said that during an argument with her? The other thing I've noticed from this is that it seems like she's definitely stonewalling. And if you want some more information about stonewalling, you can read what's the book?
The 7 Principles for Making a Marriage Work.
Yes.
By Dr. John Gottman.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's one of the 4 horsemen. So definitely, think about that. It's definitely impossible also to communicate when you're that angry.
Yes, so when one spouse is stonewalling, it's like you are just speaking to a wall. Nothing goes through. So
yeah, she's not going to hear anything from you at all.
So patience will be very helpful.
Yeah. I have a few more things I want to say about this, but I want to see if you have anything immediately.
From the question, it looks like the best thing you can do in those situations will be to be more patient and to give her space and not to encourage things in the sense like when she says something, you say something back. It's going to be more of like when she says something, you take it in and then you just be quiet and be still and be calm and then let her see your response. Because usually when somebody stonewalls and it's realized that you are just listening to them, it helps them feel heard and they feel like they're being understood. So doing that will go a long way to help you. In terms of the vulgar words, I personally think that is very disrespectful to you, the husband, and that is something that you have to talk to her about it, because disrespecting your spouse in front of the kids is something that is going to teach the kids to disrespect you, and you don't want that to happen in your marriage and in your family, because as the kids gets older, they'll be more vocal, and when they're more vocal, they're more likely to disrespect you because mommy disrespects you, and that is something you don't want to do as a parent. Those are 2 things that come out that I can say to help you right now. The third thing that I would say would be to take time to process things yourself and then see if you are doing things that are triggering her to react that way. Because for some people to stonewall, they have to feel like they are being attacked, and that is like a defense mechanism. And so try to analyze yourself, think through your actions and everything I do to see if you're doing something wrong that is making her act the way that she's doing. You want to say something?
Yeah, I would just say that I would pick a time when you're not arguing to have a conversation and say, honey, I'd really love to talk about a few things with you about our communication when you have a moment. And ask her, I'd really love for you to keep an open mind. I really want us to solve this problem of communication together. That puts you with you versus the problem. You as a couple are coming together. What's the end goal? You want to have a great marriage. You want to be able to communicate more effectively and have more peace in your home. And so if you're explaining that to her, hopefully that'll help so that you can see, so she can see that you're both on the same side. It's you guys versus the problem. And I think what I realized when I'd get mad and I'd like to say the F word, and I wouldn't say it to Marcus, but I would just use it in my sentence. And for me, it's like using an exclamation point. It's like, I'm this angry and I'm this passionate about something. And for him, it's a trigger word. So he shuts down completely, and I can see it on his face. And so I've learned that as mad as I get or as passionate as I get, I really have to not use that word when we are having an argument. Yeah. And so it's about finding out triggers of each other. Obviously, cussing is one of yours. And, to come up with a plan, like if I slipped up and I said it or something, we're arguing, I'd know, I just messed up. Wait, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. And I think he'd probably still need some time to cool off because that's such a trigger for him. But it's really about communication. And I think that we have a blog post about communication that might be useful for you. It's, just going back to the basics. We'll link to that below. But really, when it's come to communicating through these difficult conversations, it's about two people facing the problem together. You both have to be willing to put aside those defensiveness. It's easy to get defensive and feel attacked. And so one thing that we do is use I statements like, I know you're not doing this to make me feel this way or to hurt me. But when you do this, this is how I feel. And that has really helped us to reframe the problem and to see it as not our spouse attacking us, but this is a problem. Can we do something to change this? And I think that's been a huge help. The only other thing that I'd mention is empathetic listening. So, which comes hand in hand with everything we've been talking about. When you're having a discussion with her and it starts to get heated and you can feel it, try to put yourself in her shoes and be like, okay, what is she trying to tell me right now? What is she feeling about this? Why is she taking this stance on this? Why is this so important to her? And ask her questions. Asking questions has a way to, statements make our brains turn more defensive, whereas questions make us want to open up more and answer typically. So that's another thing that we do.
Yeah. To add to that will be, if after all of the things that we suggested, things are not going well, we highly recommend you guys go for therapy together as a couple or individually to see if the therapist can unearth certain things like trauma that is really causing you guys to have this issues going on. Because sometimes you don't know what is going on. You could have tried everything else, but talking to a third party like a therapist will be able to pinpoint certain things that you guys have not been able to see from afar. So that will be another useful thing that I'll recommend.
Yeah, it can be very useful to have a third party that's neutral, that can see things and patterns that you're repeating in your relationship that you guys don't see because you're in it. And so that can be really helpful.
Yeah. We hope this helps you guys with the question. And this is our opinion, and this is what we would do if you were in this situation. Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out any new videos that we put out. Enjoy your marriage.
Enjoy your life.